So quickly, we move to the next speaker. Is already with us and around the corner. I will share with us his profile and what he will be talking about this afternoon. So I'm going to share his profile now. So we have Mr. Okon Richard, and he will be speaking with us on career development for impact, influence, and income. So I will share his profile right now for us to have an idea of who he is and what he will be speaking to us about. So just give me a few seconds to do that. Very good. So Richard Okon is a graduate of Chemical and Petrochemical Engineering, first class honors from Akwa Ibom State University. In the last 3 years, he has leveraged his training as an engineer to kickstart a rewarding career as a business development and management consultant. As a business development consultant, Richard is well versed in all stages of business development with extensive multi-sectoral knowledge and develops strategic plan for transforming ideas into business venture. He has written more than 100 business plans and other business documents, which include proposal, RFP, sponsorship, pitch decks, standard operating procedure, business model canvas, financial model for individual and international companies. He is currently a senior consultant and business manager at Dayo Adetiloye Business Hub, a business consulting company with a 6 years track record of excellent service delivery for individual, MSME, and large corporation. Richard is committed to helping young people become a better version of themselves. He believes that personal development is a catalyst for career and business growth. So he has recently created a podcast platform called The Edge, where he shares insight about life and business and career. And Richard is here today to engage us. I'm going to unmute our speaker to engage us today. Mr. Richard, you are welcome. First time in Youth Empowerment Summit. You're welcome, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dayo. Thank you for the opportunity you've given me to share my knowledge and experience with the youth on this year Youth Empowerment Summit. Hope you guys are hearing me anyway.
Yes, we can hear you.
Very clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much, and it is a privilege to be here to share my experience, my knowledge with all of you. I initially planned to use a slide, but I want this session to be really engaging, so I decided to, maybe just speak to every one of us. So I'm not going to be sharing my slides. Maybe I can give it to him later, because I want everybody to participate, and I hope at the end of this session we'll be able to get much value. So today, my topic that I'll be sharing with every one of us is career development for impact, income, and influence. Career development for impact, income, and influence. And career development for impact, income, and influence post-COVID. So we are looking at COVID, before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID. So how do you position yourself for the opportunities ahead of COVID? So I want to start, first of all, from what our idea of career is. You know, before now, or even right now, for a lot of people, they still think that career is basically, when we are thinking about career, our idea of career is often professional career, like maybe a doctor or an engineer or a nurse. So if you do not fall into this category, it's often difficult to really say that you are a career person. So before you call somebody a career person, now the person maybe is a banker, maybe he's an engineer, or maybe he's a doctor, he's a nurse. And if you are outside of this clique, we don't refer to you as a career person. So I want us to, so today I want us to bridge that knowledge gap. Career is not just about an engineer, being a doctor, or being a nurse. It's far more than that. In fact, in real sense of it, career is whatever, or the thing that you do for a living is your career. So I want us to bridge down our knowledge to that level, that because for some of you, I don't know, I have not taken time to really ask, or maybe I should go into the chat box and ask. So how many of you here, I would like to have an idea of the kind of a thing that you do for a living. Is it, are you working? What kind of work do you do? Or what kind of career are you into? So that I will know how to address this discussion. That's the reason I didn't use slide, because I want it to be very participatory. So I'm in the chat box now. I want us to drop what career do you, or what is your career essentially? Okay, so I'm on the chat box, listening or reading the comments. If somebody's into contract and supplies, Dr. Tubechuku. Okay, other people, I'm presently into egg distribution. Okay, I'm still reading, because I want us to, the reason I want you to list out the things that you're doing now is so that we'll know how to narrow this discussion, because this discussion about career can be very wide. Career is so many things to so many people. And then, so if we do not know that, we may not know how to narrow the discussion. I'm self-employed, a cyber cafe. I own a cyber cafe, which is Street Computer School for, okay, non-destructive testing, NDT, okay. That's Mr. Jibrin. By general, I want to go into lubricant distribution. I'm into marketing. I'm into soap making and organic products, sewing and farming. A public officer, farming, from transportation. Okay, so essentially, if you look at it, maybe 20 years ago, or when we just finished from secondary school, or when you were in secondary school, and they ask you, what do you want to do for a living? Most of the things that you mentioned here were not part of it. You probably have said then that you want to be a doctor. You probably have said then you want to be an engineer, or you probably have said then that you want to be an accountant. So these are the things that people over time, identify career with. So we think that career is often narrowed to these things. But over the years, things have begun to change. So things have evolved. So the things that we never used to hear about have even come into place. So some people now are into digital marketing. Some people are, some years ago that wasn't a thing, but now it's a big thing. Some people are into, somebody says a content developer. Many years ago, if you ask somebody, or when they ask you what you want to become, you will never have mentioned that, because you never saw that coming. And some people, software engineers, so many things around the internet that has come into place, which wasn't a thing then. The thing that we knew then was, all that were available to us that time, and we made our career choices based on those things. And because the market has changed, the economy has changed, people have also seen the need to, diversify into other things and start doing them. So career essentially is what you do for a living, and oftentimes require a significant commitment, lifetime commitment. So you commit a significant part of your life to it. So it's not just if you are into soap making and organic products, it takes your time. That is what you are committed to. It takes a significant part of your time. It's not that you are doing it maybe 1 hour and then you are doing other things for an extensive period of time, but you just commit 1 hour to soap making and organic products and you call that a career. No, career is what takes a bulk of your time. So it could be you can be a public officer, maybe working in the government establishment. You could be in the private sector, maybe the banker or whatever position in the private sector, or you could be a business owner. Whatever you do that takes a significant part of your life or of time of your life, or require that commitment from you, is a career. And so we are looking at now career development for impact, income, and influence post-COVID. What this is about essentially is how do you position yourself for impact, for income, and for influence post-COVID. Now, let's go back to the career of the thing. Because I realize that there are some young people here. I know that some young people are listening to us over there in those states. So I don't want to just focus on the business people here, because the comments that I see here are obviously people that are already doing something, but there are also people that have not started anything. They are still thinking about what do they do with their life. What kind of career can they pursue? Or what kind of career should they prepare themselves for? So there are obviously people discussion. Okay, somebody says a research scientist and a digitalpreneur. So there are other people that right now, as we're talking, do not know what to really do with their life. And also for people that are already doing something right now, what you do right now is as a result of the decision that you've taken maybe 2 or 3 years ago. You say, okay, I want to go into this, I want to go into that. That's where you are right now. And one of the important things that I want you to do for those of us that are already doing something is to evaluate what you are currently doing right now. Where is it leading you to? The soap making and organic products. During this time of COVID and after COVID, where is this taking you to? Where do you see yourself in this business? For the research scientist and digitalpreneur, what you're currently doing right now, where do you see yourself during this time of COVID, and where do you see yourself after this COVID? For other people, I think that is Emmanuel Oluwaleke, that you are into marketing. How is it currently going right now? Where do you see yourself after this COVID period? You have to evaluate what has been the impact of COVID on what you're doing right now. Somebody said, Dr. Tubechukwu, say lubricant distribution. How is that, what prospect have you seen in that regard? Why do you want to go into this? These are the things that I want to discuss, because essentially, choice of career, for you to make a very good choice of career for yourself. I'm talking to the young people right now that obviously do not know what to do right now, and then they are thinking, especially those of them are, in the university have been affected by strike, and then a whole lot of thoughts have been coming to their mind. They are thinking, this course that I'm studying, where do I even see myself with what I'm studying in school, or what can I do with my life after university? So these thoughts may be coming to them. So I want to clarify this thing to them, and then together I will now bring everybody in. So if you are at that level where you've not really decided what to do, I want to give you 3 points. And at every point in time that because it's also possible that you're in a particular career, you want to, switch to another one. At any point in time, you're about to make a career choice. These three things are very important. Number one, what are the opportunities in that industry, in that sector that you want to go into? What are the opportunities in your country? What are the job opportunities in that country for you, for that business, for that career, for that industry that you want to go into? You must be able to evaluate it and outline what the opportunities are for you. Because some of the decisions, some people are frustrated after school because when they made a choice of what to go and study in school, or when they made a choice of going to a particular career, it was just about what what was the news then, what was the bandwagon, what everybody was doing then. So I know for some people, there were so many people that went into studying engineering because oil company job, you can get it and all of that. There were other people that go into so many things just because of the noise around that particular career at that time. But they didn't take the time to look at it in the long term, into the future. What opportunities are in the long term, not just now, because a career is not just a 3-month, 4-month, 5-month thing. It is something that will take you, like I said, it will need a lifetime commitment. Like a significant part of your life is committed to your career. For those who are in the public service, you commit like 35 years of your life to service. And so if you are going to a career that you didn't really evaluate it, the opportunities there for you, you can get stuck. So what are you evaluating the opportunities for? You are looking at what are the opportunities for growth. What are the likelihood that if you go into this, you will be able to grow? What is the growth dynamics in that industry? Would you need to go and get additional degree or training to be able to grow? Or what are the opportunities for you for growth? How is it like in the country where you are? And what are the job opportunity? What are the business opportunity that if I delve into this career, I can see this opportunity, and then maybe I have these choices or these options for me. So essentially, you have to define the opportunities that are available in that sector or industry that you plan to go into. This requires you to think and to read, to do some research. So you don't just go into it and realize that you spend 3 years and then you are not comfortable with this. But by that time, a 3 years of your life is already committed to something that you can't make sense of it. So the next thing is your knowledge. This career that you want to, you are pursuing or you want to pursue. What do you know about it? How knowledgeable are you about it? Okay, if you are not knowledgeable, if you don't know anything in it, but you just have the interest, or maybe you've seen the opportunities, what knowledge do you need to get? And are you ready for it? So, for example, you probably see that people that are into ICT or maybe into software development, they are making the big money right now, or people are into coding. And then there are enormous opportunities there for them. And because of that, you say, okay, I want to go into coding because you've seen the opportunities. And then you've seen that the fourth industrial revolution is going to digital data science, artificial intelligence, and all of those things. So you're already feeling like, oh man, there are great opportunities there for me. Even in my country, there are so much opportunity. Okay, I like this thing, and there's so much money there. You want to go into it, but you do not know anything about it. So have you taken time to evaluate what you need to know? Because it's really important. It's not that, okay, you start, how will I say, you start calling yourself this, or maybe paint yourself this way, or you tell everybody you want to go into this, or you've already gone into it to realize that coding, programming languages, to be able to do this effectively, you need to learn so many things. And it is there and then that you realize that you're not ready for this. And at the end of the day, you've wasted some part of your life not still being able to figure out what you want to do. So you may want to evaluate, the knowledge that you have about this career. What do you know? What do you know? What knowledge do you have? If you do not know anything, it's not a crime that you do not know. The next thing is, if you do not know, what do you need to know? So you need to find out what are the things that you need to know. What are the things that you need to learn to be able to, make impact, make income, or being influential in this particular, career. And the next thing is then your passion. I brought your passion last because, most emphasis is often on passion. And you fail to evaluate the opportunities, you fail to look at the knowledge gap and what you need to know. All you're driven as is, I have passion for this thing. I have passion for this thing. So passion is not just enough. Passion is good, but it's not enough. You need to weigh your passion with what you know and the opportunities there. Because we are talking about impact, income, and influence. So if you are just passionate and there are no opportunities for you, you'll be frustrated. You just get frustrated, and which is not what you want. So passion is good, but first of all, look at the opportunities that are available, weigh your knowledge gap, what you know and what you need to know, and then your passion. So when we're talking about passion, we are talking about what are those things that come naturally to you. What are those things that come naturally to you, or that you love to do, or something that people compliment you for? This gives you an idea of, okay, so people say I can do this, people comment me for this, and I realize that I love to do this particular thing. And also, I see these are my values. You then use this, place it side by side with what you know, and then evaluate opportunities that are available to be able to make a good choice of a career that would stand a test of time, basically. Because when we are talking about career, it's not short term. Short term can be the occupation, what you do in between time, but a career is a long term thing. So you need to weigh these three things before you make a very not very good, because times are changing. But you'll be sure that the decision that you make now, based on these three important, what I call it, a framework of the opportunities, of your knowledge, and of the passion that you have, the decision that you made based on these three things, will be able to help you in the long term, so that whenever you encounter challenges, you know how to navigate. So let's look at opportunities. Okay, the career development so we have talked about career now. We've talked about what is career, and then we've talked about how to make a choice of career. Now we are looking at career development as the topic, really, income and influence post-COVID. So what are we looking at, after this COVID period? What are the things? So when we are talking about career development, we are talking about career growth. The growth and the progress that you make in your career as a result of decision that you've taken, intentional decision, basically. So what growth are we envisioning? What progress are we envisioning based on the decision that you make now? that is essentially what we're looking at right now, because we are still in COVID. We are trying to transit these periods to post-COVID. What career development or a thing, what are you supposed to do now, to prepare you for career that be able to make impact, you'll be able to make income for yourself, and you'll be able to, make some influence. So career, basically, career development post-COVID will require you to reinvent yourself, because COVID has destroyed everything that we know and has changed everything, from the way it used to be. That means, person, you also need to really adjust yourself. You need to reinvent yourself. I think that's the word to use. You need to reinvent yourself, because so many business, I'm sure for many of us that are doing business, yes, your business have been impacted. For many people that are working here, your work was affected by COVID. So how do you then prepare yourself for post-COVID? That's what we are looking at. And I said that I wrote down some points here. I said who you are and where you are right now are actually an outcome of the decision you took some years ago. So whatever you're doing right now, whatever position, whatever business, whatever career you find yourself, is as a result of the decision that you took some years ago. And we can't really blame you for that. So because those decisions were based on what you know then, and it was based on the realities of that period. But we are now in a new normal, like he said, we are in a new normal. We are in almost a new era. Post-COVID COVID is really an era, and post-COVID is going to be an era. So what decisions should you take now to prepare you for the future ahead? That's what we are looking at right now. And to be able to do that, so whether you already have a career, a stable career, or you are a young person, a student, or maybe a young graduate that is still looking at what to do with your life, what you should do right now is, whatever position, whatever level that you are, I want you to create a vision for yourself. So that vision is, by this period of time, maybe in the next 20 years or in the next 30 years, this is who I want to be. I want to be a CEO in this particular company. I want to be a director in this particular agency, organization. I want to be whatever you want to be, maybe as an academia, somebody in academia, or you're just doing your PhD, or you're doing your master's, and you want to go into academia. I want to be a professor by this, time, or during this time frame. You have to create that vision for yourself, because the thing that vision does for you is that it helps you to navigate your action. So, for example, somebody that wants to become a governor of central bank in his career time, maybe the person wants to, maybe you are a young graduate, and your vision, you've created this vision that you want to become a central bank governor. What you will be doing now will be different from somebody that wants to become a CEO in an ICT company. So that is the power of the vision that you create for yourself. It helps you to navigate your action in the present, in preparation for the future. So going into post-COVID, where do you want to see your business? For those of us who are into business, at what level do you want to see your business? You need to define it. If you are a young graduate, what do you want to become? Like, what would you become that will give you the utmost joy? What would you become that will give you satisfaction in life? Just define it. By the time you define it, this will then help to guide your course of action. It will help you to know what to do now. It will help you to know the steps to take. And if you are to, so for every one of us, whether you are into business, whether you are in a public service, or maybe, are you guys hearing me?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so whether you are into a private sector or you're working in the private sector, or maybe you have your own business, or you are just a young graduate, trying to navigate life, whatever it is that you are doing currently, I want you to create a vision of where you want to be that will give you satisfaction. That if you are there at that level, you will be happy. And I want to assure you that there is nothing that you state that is impossible. So if you are looking at the career in the public sector, and then you are into finance, and you want to become the CBN governor, the Central Bank of Nigeria governor, I want to assure you that it is possible. When you define it, it will help you to know what to do. So you will be able to know the steps to take. It's just because many of us, when we were in school, we didn't really have a vision of what we want to become. We only say, I want to be an engineer. Just saying you want to be an engineer it's just vague, You say you want to become a doctor, fine, you can become a doctor, but just being a doctor is not everything. Being a doctor is just a thing out of, a whole. State categorically, where in that career, as a doctor, what kind of doctor do you want to be? You want to be a chief medical director in a particular maybe hospital? State it. These are vision. Or you want to own your own hospital? Whatever it is, state it as a vision. Let it be clear. And then we'll now go to what steps you need to take. For some of you that want to go into professional career as an engineer, and then you've stated where, because engineer is very diverse, just saying you want to be an engineer is not everything. Even saying that you want to be a mechanical engineer is not everything. Even saying that you want to be an electrical engineer is not everything. Saying that you want to be a doctor, the medical sector is also broad. So, you have doctor, you have a gynecologist, you have a pediatrician, you have so many things, in there. So being able to define where you want to see yourself, that if I find myself in that position at this particular point in time, I will be happy with myself, will be able to help you to know how to navigate. So for, like I was trying to say, for those of you that want to become an engineer or any other professional career, you want to go into a professional career, you will be able to know what are the certifications that I need to get. Because it's really important. Forget about what people are saying about Nigeria certification. If you want to progress, if you want to develop yourself, if you want to grow in the professional sector, you need certification. Let nobody lie to you. If you can do all the hard work, if you don't have certifications, you may not go far. Even as a business person, you need some level of education. There are some people that will not be able to work with you based on the level of education that you have. Forget about what people talk about, Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates. Those guys are the very base, very intelligent guys. And even if they don't have the level of education that is really needed out there, look at the people working with them. They have people with PhD working for them. So if you do not, maybe you are a business person, you feel like you do not need so much education, you need to employ people that have good education to work for you. You can then leverage maybe their education, their qualification, their profile, to advance the cost of your company. But you can't deny that you don't need it. So for you in professional career certification, people in business, you need additional education. If you think that you need, what do you need to do? Evaluate your current position. Do you think that you need more education? If you need it, then what's stopping you? And then for those of you in vocational, sectors, like somebody said is doing training for into soap making and organic products, that's vocational. What additional knowledge do you need? For you to really know what the additional knowledge that you need, it will depend on where the vision that you have for that soap production or the organic product. And for the person that wants to sell lubricants and the person into non-destructive testing, what are the vision? This vision helps you to know what are the certifications you need to get and all of that. And then
okay.
My time is up already.
For question and answer. So
okay.
Just take 5 minutes to round up, then we entertain questions. Since we want it to be more interactive.
Okay, yes. I want to be interactive. I think answering questions in this discussion will be very important. So before in the next 5 minutes, what I just want to say to you is that career development post-COVID, what you need to consider really is you need to evaluate your current position. That helps you to know where you are and then be able to determine where you want to go to in whatever you do. When you're able to establish that, you now go into what do you need to get to that level that you want to go to. And I also really want to point out that one of the things that will help you to grow in your career is not the desperation to make income. I want you to think about impact first. So you are into soap making. How do you impact people? Can you create, that product, for the less privileged? Or train people, let people feel the impact of what you do. For some of us that are into the knowledge space, share knowledge with people. Let people know, let people feel the impact and begin to think about, buying your products or your service. Because the way to impact is not first of all by income. The way to income is first of all impact. So you start making impact, and then from impact, people naturally will trust you. So if you look at Mr. Dayo, the way he started and then he grew to this level, he started by making impact, providing knowledge on the internet, and people begin to, some people here have been people that have read on the website, and then, you probably have learned one or two things. And so when, you now say, okay, I have this product for sale, you really want to buy. And over time, he has grown in influence. So this thing is like, is progressive. So you move from impact to income to influence. So whatever career you are envisioning, whatever is the vision that you have for yourself, one of the things that I want to say is that start by making impact in that direction, no matter how minute it is. So if you are into cyber cafe, can you just, train people how to use computer maybe for 5 just teach people basic things about computer, how to use the internet, just basic knowledge that you're able to share. For somebody into contract and supply, you can teach people about the products that you supply. You just let people know that if you are supplying, I don't know the kind of product that you supply, but whatever you want to be supplying, you can be talking about the importance of those things. And so people will just get knowledge. People that have those products, with them will just, okay. And so when they need it, they will contact you to supply to them. You that is into egg distribution, you can be talking about why do people need to consume egg? Those are impact that you make. I'm just trying to talk about the little things that we can do, before we talk about how you can, I don't know what to say with the egg distribution, but it depends on your level. You can begin to see how to help the less privileged, just giving them maybe egg, maybe to the orphanage and all of those things. With your company, people say, that person is trying and is giving people egg to eat. Give people that are malnourished, people in the orphanage and all of those things. You just once in a while, one crate of egg, and then you talk about it in your business, you create impact like that, and then incomes come. So let's go into question, because I still have a few other things to say, but let's go into questions.
Okay, for the question time, we just have 10 minutes to run through the question. So if you want to ask question, please raise up your hand. At the same time, you can drop the question on the chat group. So in the group chat, drop your questions. Why, if you want to raise up your hand, please do. So we have Mr. Ige raising up his hand. So you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you, God. I really want to, my question was as regards the person that just want to come into the business life, or let's say someone that just finished secondary school that has a passion for a particular thing. At any level in life, you just know we have passion and this way we want to do. But if our observation do not really have this kind of broad knowledge that we are just getting now, we might just start thinking in a rough way, just trying and error in such a way that at a point it may be rough before someone gets but as based on the knowledge we have now, how do we really translate the passion into something that will now be sustainable and give a sustainable income? I'm not sure if I really.
Okay, I think let me just rephrase your question this way to be sure whether that's what you are trying to ask. So you are saying that for people that just finished secondary school and then they just have limited knowledge, and then they have passion, how do they marry their passion with the knowledge, the little knowledge that they have to be able to do something that is sustainable? Is that what you asked?
Yes, but not limited to secondary school. I mean, even a graduate, maybe a graduate in your field, that you are part in what's ahead of you, that will not translate the knowledge you've acquired in secondary university also to something that will bring income, a sustainable income to you in life.
Okay, fine. So the thing, I did state earlier, one of the important thing really is when you have passion and probably you have limited knowledge, the next thing you really need to ask yourself is, and then that will require, that's why we have career coaches and then we have counselors, that will really require them to know exactly what they want. They need to talk to somebody to really guide them. What do they really want to become? What do they really want to do? So the person will be able to, you have passion, fine, but what do you really want to do with your life? So when we define that, because whatever passion you have, it can always be adjusted. You can always adjust it. So for example, whatever passion that you currently have and maybe the limited knowledge we can always look for something, opportunity, things that are existing currently that you can merge this with. So that's why we have career coaches and counselors for very young people. But for people that maybe university graduates and all of those things, one of the things that I want to say, which is really important, is that you need to try so many things at a very young age. See, if Messi did not play football, Messi would not know that he would be a footballer. That's the truth. You need to try you need to really try things to, at a very young age, you need to try. There is option of moving from one thing to the other during your career. It often doesn't start. Career is not a linear stuff. It's not something that you start from here and you go straight. Sometimes it's sideways, or sometimes very zigzag. Doesn't just often go straight. Doesn't go straight most of the time. So you need to, what can happen with that person is that at whatever level that you are, you need to, first of all, look for opportunities that exist that, align with your passion and the limited knowledge that you have, and try to see how to exploit. If you still have the time, see how to exploit. Otherwise, seek counseling.
Okay, let's have Mr. Balogun. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
But I hope for Mr. Ige, I did answer your question, right?
So, Mr. Balogun, you can go ahead and ask your
Good
question.
afternoon, sir.
Good
Yeah, good
afternoon. You're
afternoon, sir.
welcome.
Oh, I really appreciate this very program. I pray may the Almighty God continue to increase your knowledge and expand your coast in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Actually, I am into. I'm a professional,
Okay.
and I have this passion for something else, for business precisely. But I
Okay.
have found my profession has really been a time-demanding profession. So I don't know how to relate to marry the truth. I don't know how to marry it. Because I need money to go into business. So how do I go about it from here? Please, I need a little counsel.
So, so you're currently working, and
Yes,
then what
yes, it's time
what you
demanding.
have
Time
passion,
demanding
yes, but what you have passion for is
is
different,
business.
Abi.
Yes,
Is
that's right.
business,
It's business.
business, right? Okay, and then you are looking at how do you marry
Please
these two.
switch or marry the two together. Yes, and my current
The-
profession is time demanding.
Okay, fine. So the thing is, first of all, your profession, that is taking a significant part of your time is really your
Yes,
career. That's it.
yes,
And then, but you feel like you need to go into business and all of those things. What we can really say at this level is because since you are actually employed, you know, what we can say really is that you need to really define, like I said, create a vision. What exactly do you think that if you will remove you from this work and put you in this business, do you think that, you will be happy doing it if this business was to go ahead and go successfully? Do you get what I'm saying? If we remove you from that job and put you in this your business that you want to do it full time, guaranteed that everything will go well, would you be happy? You need to define that. And when you are able to define it, the next thing you can do is that since this is your current source of income, you need to create, just be fueling the business little by little. So it might be by seeking more knowledge, it might be by seeking to understand it gradually, and then at the point you need to really decide, because the thing about it is that you can't really play so safe, you can't cheat your employer, and then then you want to grow this business. By the time you are able to maybe seek more knowledge about this business, what are the opportunities that exist in this industry? If I go into this business full time, will I make it, then you need to maybe start your spare time, maybe your time at night, see how to create this business, and then maybe to grow in your absence. If you think that is not something that can grow in your absence, the very logical decision really, and which is very risky, is to see how to go and face the business. Otherwise, you just invest, you just look for somebody that is doing very well and invest your money there. That's what some people do. So we have people that are doing into a very successful professional career, and then they invest in businesses. I don't know whether that answers your question anyway.
All right. Awesome. Can we give a clapping emoji for one of our guest speakers today? He has done justice for career development post-COVID, building massive impact, income, influence through your career. On your group chat, if you have learned so many things from this session, just drop it, just drop it, just drop it.
Okay, so
Somebody
somebody
said,
say
okay, yeah, go ahead.
seeking partnership may help while working. Yeah, so like investing. So you might look for somebody that is already doing and have the time, is doing similar thing or is interested in doing similar thing, and just partner with the person. So that might work, that level of partnership might work. And maybe somebody in your family, anybody, friend also, you just seek partnership. So that might help.
Awesome,
All
awesome.
right.
Awesome.
So,
Says, thank you very much, our facilitator.
all right, you're welcome. So
David,
just my final word for you guys is that, you know, it's just very brief and it's for everybody present here. So like, especially for Mr. Balogun that asked that question, your professional career is like, you know, we say what you are trained to do is actually your profession. And then what you are paid to do is most like your occupation. But there is something that, you know, like God sent you to do is for those of us that believe in God. And that is like your mission. And when you are thinking, you need to see how to align these three. That is how to find fulfillment going forward, even in post-COVID, during COVID time. So thank you very much. And I wish you all the best in your career.
All right, thank you, Mr. Richard. We really, really love your presentation, how you have engaged us, and all the insight you have shared with us. So, for the purpose of people that want to connect with you after now, we believe that you will send us like a write-up that
Okay.
will contain some of the information you have shared, and your contact
Yes.
will be there. They will be able to drop it for them on the WhatsApp.
Yes, I'll do so. And really, you that are using Telegram on your phone. So I have you know, for my Edge podcast that I created like a few weeks ago or so. I have some podcasts there for you. So you might want to join the Telegram group. The Edge platform, you know, is a public channel on Telegram, so that I will share some information there. And by this weekend, I will upload podcast, and I've been dwelling on the series that you are a business. You know, I'm trying to let everybody know, no matter what you're doing as a person, that you as an individual, you are a business. So the Edge platform, you can find it on Telegram, and you know, join the channel. I'll be sharing some insightful information, and I have, you know, a post that I created, you know, on Facebook. I will share it there with you guys, where I talked about, and that post really got so much engagement. And I was talking about, you know, navigating career, because, you know, especially our case in Nigeria is very unique. You know, our case here is very unique, and it's really different from people in the abroad. Our case is unique, and you need to have a native sense to know how to navigate your career in Nigeria. You may not be, you don't have to stick to one particular thing. And when there is a point that you really need to think, and you know, if it is necessary, you switch. That is when, you know, it's coming. You don't have to be stuck in a particular career. You need to know how to, when to leave a particular career. It's progressive. Career is not a one thing. So I share a post on Facebook, and I will share it on that Telegram channel. That's just what I was trying to say. So for some of you might just want to read it and get some value.
Awesome. Let's give a round of applause, an emoji icon, clapping for our speaker tonight. We really, really love you, Mr. Richard. Thank you for sharing value, also massive value here on this platform. We really thank you for the very first time on the Youth Summit platform.
Yeah, it's a privilege. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Dayo, for the opportunity. Thank you, everyone, my listener.
All right, so we drop every other information about him on the WhatsApp group, and we'll move straight to the